Hi, hello all, good evening.
Hi, sir. Good evening, sir.
So, how are you all? How is going on your practice?
Good, I think. For now, it's good, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So, we are going to deep dive slowly. So, try to sync with the classes always actually. Okay. Always don't don't keep anything pending actually. Not just listening the class. Okay. So, listening the class is, I guess, it's a 30% only. Remaining is your hands-on part. So I'm saying to be frank, okay? So your hands-on is really matter to make it more perfect what you learned in the class, okay? So let us continue. So as we discussed yesterday, we are going to see today server structure actually, SQL Server structure, okay? And exactly we are going to see in the Azure cloud also. So we are going to create that also. Before going to see, let us see because to see that to create the server structure, we need to know the Azure structure also. So everyone, please listen carefully. So hope some of you not at joined actually. Okay, no problem. We will start. Okay. So first of all, before going to see this Azure structure, you need to understand Azure hierarchy. You can say, okay. You may be the data engineer, you may be any person who is using Azure. So definitely you should coming under this particular structure only. Okay. That is what very important. So here you are going to have your account. Okay. So you have your Azure account. Okay. Try to understand different things I will try to discuss. So in this Azure account, this is calling as a Microsoft Entra ID. This terminology you will see in different places. Microsoft Entra ID. So that means what actually? Your username, your password. That's all. Nothing is there. So by using this, you are going to log into your account actually. That's all. Okay. Then in general, what will happen is, for example, there is a client. So your company is different, client is different, right? Everyone is know that. So there is a client actually. So that client may be different projects actually. And those projects are handling in the cloud Azure only. Okay. So in general, what you are going to have under one account actually in the next level in the account is the subscription. Okay. So in your case, actually, you are going to have subscription, free subscription. You might have a free subscription. Okay. So that is what you have here. So in my case, mine is the paid subscription. So in case of free subscription, you cannot create one more subscription actually. One more means you have to go for the pay as you go. That means paid subscription. So you can have multiple subscriptions actually. Subscription 1, subscription 2 like that. So that means for example, multiple projects are there. So each project under one subscription you are maintaining. So billing subscription wise will come actually. Every month bill will come. For subscription 1, how much billing is happened. Subscription 2, how much billing is happened. So accordingly it will come actually. So like that, you can create the multiple subscriptions under one account actually. You have to create to go for any project. So in your case, it is a free subscription. So whether it is free or paid, anything is fine. So whatever we are discussing, that is common. Now, if you see under one subscription, what else you are going to have is, so under one subscription, you are going to have multiple resource groups. So here especially, you guys need to understand very clearly resource group 1. So like that, multiple resource groups you can create. Resource group 2. So here resource group 3. So resource group 3, RG3. Okay. So multiple resource groups you can create. So what is resource group is going to have actually? As name implies, nothing is there under one group. So group, what you are grouping as name implies resources. So what are the resources here? Whatever we are talking actually, Data Factory, for example, ADF or SQL Server. Okay. So SQL Server or Databricks, Azure Databricks, ADB or Data Lake or Blob or whatever you need in your project. Those are all becoming the resources. All those resources should come under one of the resource groups. Resource group is coming under subscription. So now resource group is nothing but just the you are grouping the all your resources with some common name. That's all. So that is what the resource group. Okay. So now here, okay. So now here, these are the resource groups. So like this, here also you can have multiple resources, and these resources you are grouping here, and these resources you are grouping here. So like that, under this subscription, multiple resource groups you can have. Under each resource group, multiple resources you can have. So this structure is applicable everywhere actually. So whenever you go for your Azure account, okay, you should have a subscription. In your case, you no need to spend, you have already by default free subscription. Okay. So in other cases, you can have a paid subscription. And then under that subscription, you are going to have a resource groups. In each resource group, you are going to have multiple resources. So that's what the main thing. So here, if you just discuss, since topic is came, one step extra actually, though I no need to discuss actually, but still you can see. So in general, three resource groups you will create under one subscription actually, or accordingly names you will give. So 3 means what actually is, this is the development environment where actually developer is going to develop the pipelines or scripts basing on the requirement. Then UAT environment, okay. Then you are going to have a prod environment. So like this, for each environment, one resource group you can create. So in this environment, what resources you have, same resources you are going to maintain here also with the same configurations or some extra configuration. So what is this environments actually? So most of you might know already. Developers are developing here the actual scripts. Then that is moving to the UAT environment where testers are testing as per the requirement, test cases are designing. So whether what developed by the developer, that is meeting all the test cases, test conditions or not, they will check. If anything is missing, then that will push back to the development. Then rework is going to happen, again pushing to the UAT. Then accordingly, people are traversing actually, that is iterating the things. Now once UAT perfect, so as per the requirement, your code is working or pipeline is working, that code you are moving to the production actually. So this is the front face to client actually. So for example, your project is a reporting project. That means Power BI reports. So in the production, all actual things will be there. That is actually the front face. So these are all background setup for working purpose actually. Okay. So that is what movement will happen. So in general, actually, code what you developed here, you are not going to deploy that code in the UAT environment manually. Of course, you can do manually also, but manually is not suggestible. Sometimes still some projects or some people will do like that only. That is not at all a problem. Better to make it automate. Okay. So that is where, that means what code you have developed here, that code should move to this environment. In this environment, you have same another ADF actually, but this ADF is dev, this ADF is under UAT. So two different ADFs will be there, but code what you developed here, that will move to here. Then what code you have here, that will move to the production. So thoroughly tested code will exist in the UAT actually. So that after testing, after proper approvals, you are moving to the production. Here also ADF will be there. So what you developed code, pipelines, that is finally coming into this particular ADF. So our SQL Server queries, stored procedures, tables, what you did here, all those things coming accordingly here. Now, I am talking about code movement actually. What you developed in the dev environment, how that will move to the another environments correspondingly. So that is what automation. What is that automation is? CI/CD pipelines. Who is going to take care of this is DevOps engineer actually. Okay. So this is nowhere related to us. Sometimes people will learn it, okay, out of interest. That is okay. But this is nowhere related to us. I am just giving extra information, this yellow part. Okay. So CI/CD pipelines, continuous integration, continuous development. So requirements continuously is coming. Continuously you are developing that requirement code, then moving into UAT, then deploying in the production. So integrating the continuously that code to the production and continuously working on the same application is CI/CD pipelines going to design by DevOps engineer, so that manually deploying the code in other environments not required actually. Automation will happen just by clicking on some of the things, automatically code movement will happen. So this is what in general in the project structure actually try to understand it. Okay. So hope it is clear. Before going to see white part is only related to us. This is just for your information I am providing. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So actually, what data engineering is like storing the data and through the ETL part, right? Then what development we need to do
Yeah,
here?
Vijay, can you come again? One sec, can you come again?
I'm telling that the data engineering used to just a second.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now it's more clear. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, data engineer will do the data storage, like collecting the big data and do ETL part, right?
Correct,
Then
correct.
what kind of coding and development we need to do here?
So data engineer actually, data is generating for that particular kind across the multiple locations or in different formats. Okay. So that data you need to bring to the cloud, and then in the cloud you need to process it. So as per the requirement, after processing, you need to transform it, you need to aggregate it. Then if it is a reporting project, then finally submit to the Power BI reports actually. Okay. So who is going to do all these things? Data migration, how it will happen? By creating the pipelines by the data engineer only. Who will transform that raw data? Data engineer only. Okay.
Okay.
So what scripts you developed for that means what pipelines you developed, what scripts for transformation you developed, what queries you written, what stored procedures you written in the SQL Server. All those things, code has to move. Then not the data is different, code is different. Have a difference. Okay.
Okay.
So code movement automation will done by DevOps engineer. Now, whatever code you developed, that code is doing what? Data migration is doing. That is actually we are going to do, data engineer. Okay.
Okay, got it.
This is very common anywhere, this same structure. The project may be anything, we don't know, maybe suppose front-end application something or anything else, some project is taking care means code movement will happen by the DevOps engineer where CI/CD pipelines correspondingly going to design actually. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So like this, multiple things we will see in between so that it is going to elaborate your knowledge actually, so that not just the concept, in and around things also you will get familiar. But take this yellow part clearly. That is what matter. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Now, this is what the first thing. So I'm not going to discuss now itself. I'm not going to create this resource group and all. We will see anyhow when you are discussing in a moment, we are going to say SQL Server related. That time I will come back to this slide and I will show you in the Azure cloud. Okay. Now let us see the SQL Server structure. Not only SQL Server, any server, it will exist like this only. So SQL Server, if you take, so this is also very simple, nothing is there. So many people who are already worked might know already. So here SQL Server will be there. So under the one SQL Server, you are going to have multiple databases actually. Okay. So database 1. So you may have database 2. You may have database 3. Okay. So like that, multiple databases are possible. So database N. Okay. Then under one database, you may have different objects actually, you can say. So logically, you can say some other word is there. So under one database, you may have a tables. Okay. You may have a views. You may have a stored procedures. Okay. You may have like that. Many things we are going to have functions, user defined functions like that. So tables means multiple tables we are going to have. So table 1, table 2, table 3 like that. So the view 1, view 2 like that. Multiple views will be there. Stored procedure 1, stored procedure 2. So don't worry at all. If you are completely new to these terminologies, you will get familiarized within 1 week actually. You are going to see these words practically and very frequently we are going to use them. You no need to worry about if this terminology is completely new. Okay. And very simple. This is what the terminology, if you see, and here, this whole thing, if you take, anything you are calling as a object. Okay. So because these words regularly people will use in your real-time meetings actually. Okay. So that time don't get confused. That's why such a basic I am providing. Okay. Now the main thing is whenever you have a SQL server, the main thing is you need to log in actually. That is very important thing. Okay. So to log in this, in our case, we are talking about not just the SQL server. I am talking about mainly Azure SQL Server. That means you are creating a SQL server in the cloud. So here you can see in two ways you can log in. So one is by using a credentials, normal credentials. Okay. That means what? Username, password, which we are going to create now manually. Then another way also you can log in. That is by using Microsoft Entra ID. So Microsoft Entra ID is nothing but what actually? Your Azure account details, username, password, whatever you have. By using those also you can log into the SQL server. So this is what the structure actually. So simple thing, under one SQL server you can have multiple databases. Under one database you can have multiple types of objects, tables which will store the data, physical data will be there, views, logical tables you can say, data will not exist, but logically views will exist, stored procedures for some logic you are going to use, functions will be there for some specific requirement. You are creating the functions or existing functions like that, multiple objects will be there. Whatever is required, we will see in the upcoming discussion. This is what actually the main thing. Okay. So with this basic, let us try to have these things in our Azure cloud actually. Okay. So now what we need to do after all these things understanding. So let us see here what we need to do. First of all, from the previous slide, subscription I will just show you, but resource group with our name, with our batch name, we need to have a resource group name. Okay, which we are going to use continuously throughout the training. So resource group we need, subscription I will show you because anyhow that is existed. Then after that step, Then the second one is what actually? SQL Server we need to create. So SQL Server we need to create. Then the third one is under this SQL Server, one database we are going to see. So database we need to see. Then very important, just by creating these two, people will struggle in real time also by not knowing these things. Okay. After this, some firewall settings, all these things you need to take care actually. So firewall related settings, let us try to complete. Okay. Then try to log in from SSMS actually. So SSMS, which is there in your local laptop, from there you are trying to reach the Azure SQL Server which is created in the cloud Azure. So that is what these are the steps. Let us try to complete one by one. Okay. So hope it is clear what we discussed. Any confusion before going to see this practically?
No.
Yeah. So always again and again I'm saying it is your duty if you have any doubts. So I am always welcome you if you have any doubts to. Okay. So let me share Chrome. So now try to get the clarity what I discussed in the day 2 actually, day before yesterday. So this is what the cloud environment. What is cloud I discussed? It is like a catering company. Take it like that. They are able to prepare, they are able to cook many dishes. So Azure Cloud is providing many services. Okay. So here in this portal, we want to create something. Now what we are creating, that is throughout our training actually. So very first thing is resource group. With our resource group, let us try to create the, with our batch name, let us try to create. So first of all, before that, let me show you here. In this portal, this is the search bar. Anything you can search here. I just want to show you existing resource groups which we created for other batches and which I created for personal experiments. All these things you can see here. So these are all the different resource groups we created for different batches and different works actually. Okay. So why I am showing this one resource group? See here, you are now creating resource group. Okay. Naming conventions are really matter in your real time also. Take care of that. Okay. Many people will give the random names. That is not a good practice. Okay. So here, whenever you are creating any service actually, ADF, SQL Server like that, including resource group, this kind of tabs you will identify. Okay. And first option is always create. So this particular service you are going to create. So click on this to create a new one. So click that. Yeah. So let me open one more tab. So portal.azure.com, and you don't create the account as I told you. This is just basic information. Next Tuesday only you start creating and recap this video and then complete it. So here you can see. So subscriptions, if you want to see what I have, my subscriptions, especially if you see, mine is paid subscription. In your case, it will come free subscription. Azure subscription 1, subscription ID, and different things what you have here. Okay. So mine is the paid subscription. If you want to create new one, click on add and then create it. So the multiple things are there. Let it be at this moment. This is very early to discuss all these things. So that's what let it be. Come here. Now, whenever, as I told you, okay. So as I told you, actually, whenever you see here the structure, whenever you are creating anything, that should first of all coming under one subscription actually, whatever that. In your case, free subscription. So Here also same thing we are going to maintain. That's what the very first thing it is asking is, what is your subscription? So I have only one subscription. In your real time, if you have multiple projects for the same client, okay, you will find out some more lists in some more names in the list actually in the drop down. Okay, so I have only this one subscription. That is fine. Now here resource group name. This is where you have to give your name actually. So that's what I told you, right? We are creating resource group. That is the very first step. So give the resource group name always, not only for this resource group, any service when you are creating, try to maintain some naming convention, naming standard and a hierarchy. Okay, some hierarchy you try to maintain. So here always your company name, that means company means your just a minute. Yeah. So here, whenever you are giving any name for any resource, actually, try to follow some order or hierarchy, some standard actually. So here your project name or company name, first of all, and then what is the name you given for your project. Okay. So you can give whatever you want. So in our case, I'm just taking November 24 E. So evening batch, November 24 evening batch. Let us take like that. And then after that environment, try to mention that. What is the environment? As I told you, dev, UAT and production. So this resource you are creating under a dev environment. Then resource, what is the resource name? RG, resource group you are creating. So it is by seeing this name, you are telling everything actually. Because if you see here, when you come to the home, there are a lot of resources which I have actually, which I already created. Okay, you see all these resources. So by seeing anything randomly, you are in a position to tell that, okay, this is related to so and so. So that is very important actually. So names wise, you should not any confuse. Just not just like resource group 1, 2, 3 like that. Not giving them much clarity. So this is giving full-fledged hierarchy actually. Okay, no confusion at all. Then the region. So region part, if you see, what is this one? It is saying is Azure cloud is nothing but what? That also physically will exist somewhere. So like one company, catering company is there. So that catering company have different branches actually. So you need food from which branch? So that's all. So this Azure cloud also, that means they have their own centers throughout the world in different locations. So these are all the different location names. So in India also we have, so South India, West India, Central India. So anything you can take, that's all. So that's all. So tags, leave it. Okay. Review whatever details you given, it will validate. If everything is fine, then it will enable you to create the that particular service actually. So now you click on create, so that resource group is going to get ready. So resource group, just naming, so it is created. So our resource group is ready. Click on that. So under that resource group, you can see the diagram. That is the main thing for you. We are going to have a resources. So right now we don't have any resources. So it is like that. And from the resource group also you can create the resources. So let it be. So that's all. The first step is done. Now let us move to the SQL Server. Very important. Okay. So how you will create SQL Server? Very simple. Always search here in the search bar what you want. See here, SQL Server. So here you can see SQL Server, SQL databases. Both of them have similar symbol, similar logo, except SQL Server have some setting symbol extra. So take this SQL servers. Actually, I have already one SQL server. Okay. I'm going to use this SQL server only for your discussion also. Okay. But I will show you all the steps by creating new one. Later, I will delete it. Because the reason also I will tell you in the discussion. Okay. So you follow what I am saying now. So I am going to create a SQL server. So click on create. So you see what I told earlier. You are creating now this particular resource. So when you are creating this particular resource, that resource related options you are going to have here. That's all. Now this is the very first resource we are creating in the cloud Azure. So have a look that what I discussed here. What I discussed. Here you are creating resource. That means what is the subscription? What is the resource group? You must tell first. For any resource, these are the two things basically you should mention. So subscription is same, only one subscription we have, and resource group, what you created just now. So this is what our resource group, take that resource group. On the fly also you can create resource group. Okay. When you have a good hands-on, so these things you can do actually. Okay. Nothing is there. Directly you can create. So let it be. Now, coming to the server details. This is the project details. As I told you, you can observe that. Now come here to the server details. So your SQL server details. Server name, what you want to give. So whatever you want, you can give. So EFN November 24 Dev SQL Server. So this is the name I want to give. So this name exists or not, it will cross check. And this name should be the unique one, not just under your account. Okay. This name should be unique under entire Azure cloud actually. Suppose you have your own account, I have my own account. So when you are creating, if you give this name, it will tell you that this name is not available. So it is like a, for example, this website name. So same website name, if you try to take, if it is already booked by someone, so it is not available for you. Because these servers you are going to reach uniquely throughout the Azure cloud actually. That is the server name. Okay. So you, as whatever you want, you can give that. Then the location as usually same thing, whatever you want, select the region, come down here, very important. Okay, come here. What I told here, that is what now related. Login details you are going to set here. Authentication method. So authentication method means login credentials only. I told you that you can log into the SQL Server by using Microsoft Enter ID. That means Microsoft ID. And also by using a username and password. So that's what here also it is saying that actually. Authentication method. You want to log in always by using Microsoft Enter ID. So you enable that option. Or always you want to log in with SQL authentication. That's what this one. SQL authentication. Okay. So username, password you have to select. Or anyone I want to use. That is the middle option. That's all. So if you select this, use SQL authentication, username, password you need to set. So I am going for middle one. Let us see both of them. Middle one means first one already exists for with your account actually. So, but second one SQL authentication. So it is asking here, username is what, password is what. So username admin login is what I am giving AFN admin. Then password whatever you want you can give actually. So this is what I given. Same thing I need to use when I am logging in. So please try to remember. Okay, note down somewhere. That's all. Setting the logging into the your SQL Server. Then another thing mandatory you should do is set Microsoft Entra admin actually. So definitely there will be multiple users actually. So which user is actually the admin powers? Which user have the admin powers for this server actually? So that is what in your real time you will see your colleagues or different people. In general, this creation is not in your hand. Somebody will definitely will create. Okay. But what we have to do in our practice. So you search with your mail ID, whatever you created. So this is what, okay. So I'm making this user as a admin for this particular server. That's all. Done. Okay. So that's all only. Here nothing is there. You just provided the subscription and resource group name. Then the second thing is server name. And the next thing is you set the admin and username password for the SQL authentication. So what way you want to authenticate, you selected the option. So that's all. Remaining things we no need to touch at this moment. Security, additional settings and tags. Okay. Okay, let it be. Tags, review plus create. So as I told you earlier also, what if your details what you have provided, if everything is okay, then it will enable create option. Just now it is enabled. So click on create. Okay. So I'm going to click on create. So that what step? Second step we are about to complete. So you can see what is happening. Come on, tell me. Now you are seeing first time, I guess. Maybe some of you. Let it come. Actually, today my system is little slow.
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah, please.
Sir, the resource group and the resources can be in different regions.
Resource groups, come again.
When you are creating resource group, you choose in one region, like a central region, and while creating resources, you choose a different. You can choose different region, or you have to choose same region.
Correct. You can choose different regions actually. That is not a problem. Okay. But for some services, it will ask to match with the resource group. Okay.
Okay, sir.
That we experienced. That's particular service I forgot actually. In our real time, some very one time we seen that option, that name actually. So resource group region and resource region should be same like that. So you can experiment, nothing will happen. Okay, all these things, whatever doubts you are getting, feel free to experiment. Okay.
Yeah.
So in meantime, like if we created all these details now, where can we see what was created? And if needed, if we need to change any user, then can we use change the user information?
Come again once again.
Like I'm asking whether we created a user, right? Admin user. Can we able to see who was the admin, and if we needed, can we also change that?
Exactly. You can able to let it first create. Okay.
Okay.
You can see that is not a problem. Definitely it will show you actually. Okay.
Yeah.
Who is admin all these things? Yeah, it is it is created already, but only thing is here it is showing like this. See here, it is already came. What name we given? Let me open this. So you can see all the options what existed. So you can see here who is admin, all these things. You can first of all, okay, slowly I will show you different options. Suppose in your real time, somebody may ask you give the details of the server. Okay. So always come to the overview, take this screenshot and send it. That is the first basic thing. Okay. So that everything is available. Resource group is what, status is what, region is what, subscription is what. and all other different details actually. Okay. So this part let it be. That's the let it be means this is what the first step. Okay, what we discussed, SQL Server part. Now, next one is what database we have to create. Either you can create here directly database under this SQL Server. That's what we discussed, right? Database is always under server, or you can create directly here. So we are going with this step. This is straightforward, right? So take the SQL. Now not the database. It is the now not the server. Now it is the database. Keep that in mind. Take the SQL database. I already have one database coming under the other SQL Server. Okay. Anyhow, I am going to create. This is what you have to take care. Listen carefully. Billing wise also. So this is extra skill. Proactively, sometimes you can show in your team actually, especially. Okay. Billing wise also, sometimes you need to give the suggestions. So see here. Actually, sometimes you have to give the estimations for your project billing actually, monthly billing, how much may come. Estimation before starting, because you are in development phase or before development phase. You identified that this many resources, this configuration we need. Then client sometimes or definitely may ask that, give me the estimation of a billing per month. So when it is related to the database, you can estimate here. Okay, how and all. And when you are creating the database, see here there is a pink color background, one rectangular box. For me, it is not coming. For you, one more rectangular box will come above this one actually, above this one. There it is saying you option that pre-trial this database. Please take that option. Okay. My other database, what I shown you before come to this window, is the free trial one. So you also can take that. Otherwise, database nowadays taking so much billing. So billing is one of the problem. You should be careful. I will show you that also one by one. Don't be hurry. But still, billing is one of the thing you need to take care in your practice time also. Okay, whether it is free trial or sometimes you have to go for the pay as you go, paid subscription. But if you are conscious, within 100 rupees, within 200 or 500, you can complete your practice also. Not at all a problem. So hope what I told here, you remember. Above this pink color, pink background box, another box pink color you will get. For me, it is not getting. You will get one free trial database. Select that particular option, so that billing is very less, almost zero. Then, as usually, remaining details you can see, and estimations. This I will come back. So subscription, as usually, select your resource group. So our resource group is this one. Select that, done. Then come down. So what is the database? So database name EFNDB. This database name should be unique under your server only. Yes, right? Under your server, it should be unique. Server name should be unique under the Azure cloud itself. Okay. Now the server is what? So one is already existing servers, these two. You can select any one. Then another one is you can create on the fly also. Okay. If you click on create, it will redirect to the window which we created just now here. Okay. So it is still creating. So select the server what you created. This is what we created. So that's all. Want to use elastic pool, but let it be all these things as it is. Come down. Main thing is compute plus storage. Okay. So for computation purpose, that means whenever you write a query, how many CPUs are required for you? How much RAM size is required for you? So that's what, right? Computation and storage. So you can set, you can change this configuration, existing one. That's why this billing. Existing is something default, but you can change that to another. Come here, click on configure database. So you can see here, come down. So here especially, yeah. Here maximum vCores, how many, all these things, have a look. No need to, you just experiment billing wise, how billing is changing. Come here, general purpose, right? I taken. For you, vCore based purchasing, DTU based purchasing, both options will be there. And in each option, 3 sub options will be there. Okay. So have a look. If I take this one, the billing, how it is changed. So if I take another option, okay. So basing on your project, you can go through the documentation, then accordingly you can select. So I'm just taking general purpose. Okay. So let it be. And here computation wise, how much cost it will, vCore per second, how much it will take, how many seconds that particular CPU used, this much cost, and per month, storage wise, how much. Okay. And then its configurations you can see in the down. Size wise, force wise, you can see that 32 GB. If I increase it, so accordingly, here also things will change. Okay. Cost is changed. Storage cost is changed. Okay. So that's what actually. Okay. So just have a look this particular configuration. Okay. Come back. That's what the configuration database. That's what this option. Come down. So this is redundant backup purpose. Have a look. These names are common names only. So let it be. So this is the main thing database side. You have to take care what is the option available above this pink background box. You also go, you are going to have extra box. Take that option actually. Networking, let it be. Security, let it be. Come to the additional settings. Come here, data source. If you select the none, your database is coming with nothing actually. No tables, no views, no stored procedures, nothing. If you have already any other SQL Server database backup, you can bring it back to this cloud. So this is the option you can take. You can take sample database also. So Adventure Works LT is the famous database actually. Maybe some people might know this. So I'm taking this option so that some sample tables, sample stored procedures, and some sample functions is going to have actually. So let it have. I will show you what are those tables. Okay. I'm taking this option. Okay. You also can take so that you have ready-madely some data actually. So tax reviews. So if everything is okay, create option is going to enable. Let us see here. So done. So whatever I told estimation, every day, okay, let us click on create. We will come back. So estimations wise also proactively you can suggest to your team actually billing wise how much this particular resource is going to take. Okay. Click on create. Okay.
In real time, like we don't know how much the data will
Yeah.
come back.
Now
Can
here
we-
you see, just a minute. Now here you see, come on, tell me someone, because this question I need to ask here itself, but it is stuck like that. What is happening exactly? Can anybody tell? Deployment is in progress means what is happening exactly?
Go into production or development something.
Is setting up the resources.
No, some more clarity. Others? Whatever, right or wrong, just share.
Moving to other
Creating resource.
See, simple, nothing is there. In your laptop, you need to install SQL Server. Is it or not? If you want to use.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's all here also. That particular
Yes.
piece of software, basing on the specifications you given, basing on the region you told, in that region, that piece of software is installing. Deployment means on behalf of you, that software is getting ready for you by installing in the specified location. That's why you are able to store the data, you are able to retrieve or doing different things actually. So somewhere it should exist, right? The database. So where it is existing, so where it has to install, that's what right now is happening. How you install in your local laptop, it is installing in the cloud, the specifications basing on what you given. So that's what deployment is done. So your database is ready. Okay. So go to the resource. So our database is get ready. Okay. So this is what the first thing. Next week, this is the this is the very priority. After creating the Azure account, you have to do this one. So next Tuesday. Okay. Or you can create Monday, and then you, by the time you start the ADF, you can create it. Okay. Now, in the database especially, here query editor is there. So how you are doing your practice in the SSMS, that means what you seen yesterday, group by all these things we seen in one window. So same thing you can do your practice in this query editor. So click on this query editor. So have a look here. So we discussed already that you can log into the SQL Server in two ways. That's what you see here: SQL authentication, Microsoft Entra authentication. So I'm clicking on this one. That means your username. This is my username and password. So I'm clicking on this. It is thrown some error. Let it be. I'll come back to that. Okay. Here also I'm trying actually. So I given this login username, if you remember, and password is this one. Okay. Then click OK. It is also throwing same error. Have a look. Okay. So now let us see the error. This is what firewall related. So here you see connection was denied since Denny public network access is yet to yes. So public access is not set for this. So how you can make it enable actually? So nothing is there. Okay. Okay. So let us have this database here. Query editor here. Let us do the other work, firewall work here. So what is the problem you got here? It is denied the access actually. Reason is public access is denied, not set to yes actually. So here actually you can see this is the, in your case also, in your real time also, people will provide the just configuration details, credentials actually. So you have to do your own on your own these things actually. So one database already there. So you have to connect actually. How you will connect? Whatever I am doing right now, that is exactly in your real time you have to take care. So see here, set server firewall, click on that. So here, actually this is what public network access is disabled. So it should be enabled by selecting this one. Then it is able to access actually. So after enabling this, click on save. Done. Done. Now come back here again. So anything is fine, whether this one or this one, so authentication or Entra. Now again, I'm trying to click on this. So now the error is different. Okay. Now the error is different. So now this error we need to discuss here first. Okay. So nothing is there again here. You can see this is the SQL Server. Okay. As we discussed, you can log into this SQL Server in two ways: by username password. That means I am taking just authentication, or Entra. Not just by having these two, it is not allowing to log in actually. Here, for example, I am giving proper details only. Username, password, correctly I am providing. but still it is not allowing me to log in. So just knowing these, just by knowing these two, people are not going to allow. So that means you are trying to enter into some party by having some invitation card. That is not enough. Whoever is entering, that person photo also should exist in their list actually. Guest list, that name should be there. Though you have proper credentials, that is more than enough. Yourself should be there. That means yourself here means what actually? This is your laptop, for example. From this laptop, you are trying to log into this system. So this laptop is going to have some IP address. That IP address, first of all, should exist in the list of this allowed IP addresses actually. So SQL Server, first of all, should have this IP address and username password. Suppose IP address 1, 1. Now, there is another system IP address 2, okay, and he have username and password. So username and password, same username password, he is trying to log in. So because his IP address are already there in the list, so this request is going to allow to access the database. But because this IP2 not exist here, this problem it is throwing. So that's what it is the problem. So now here IP1. So that means this is the IP address I need to add in the firewall rule. So that's what your IP address is. So who can able to do that? You are sending your IP address to the admin of this server. So admin of this server adding the rule here actually. So you can give anything EFN rule 1. Okay. IP address, IP4, IP6. So you have actually, so starting IP address, ending IP address. So this IP address story is very big one. So I have my one of the Udemy course, okay, which have only on this IP4 6 hours class is there. Okay. So this IP address range, in between range, you want to allow all of them. But in this case, range is only one IP address. So starting and ending same. So click OK, then save it. Now what happened? Your IP address, admin of this server added. Then whenever you try to log in, you are coming not just with the authentication details, with your IP address also. First, it will validate IP address. If it exists, then validate your details. If it is correct, then it is allowing you to access the database. So now you can come back here. Now either here or here. Of course, directly you can add that, you can experiment later. Now you manually do these things. Now if I click on OK or this one. So let us see now here. So it is trying to log in now. See, successful. Wait a moment. It will lead you to the editor. So see here, this is the database you created. How SSMS window you are seen yesterday and day before yesterday. Online, your SQL Server window is like this for your practice or for your real-time database. So here under table section, if you expand, because you selected a sample database, Adventure LT, so you can see these are the sample tables related to that. And these things have some data. Have a look, select star from, let us take a build version or let us take the customer table. So sales LT customer table. So here you can see the options, easily you can understand, run. So this is the data you got. And you can take new query. So take a new query, like a new tab in our SSMS. And here you can write down different things. So that is what different tables. You can have different stored procedures. So you can have views also. Yes, some basic views. So that is what the logging in the online, first of all. Okay. So that is what simple thing. Now what we are going to see is, let me share you other screen. So where you are right now? Now we have completed this section. That's what database created, firewall settings is done. You are able to log in. Firewall settings is done. You logged in. Now try to log in from the SSMS actually. So that is anyhow straightforward. You can see here. Okay. So see here, SQL Server. This is in my local laptop. This editor is there. So in the server name, you have to provide. These are the different previous servers we used. So now come here. Get the server name. This server name. That means go to the overview. This is the server name. Copy this. Okay. Come to here. Paste it here. So this is the server name you want to log in. Then authentication method is what? Here you will get some more extra authentication methods. Out of that SQL Server authentication which we discussed, you can have Windows authentication also. We will see in upcoming discussion for on-premise related discussion. And Microsoft Entra ID. Microsoft Entra ID means what you see in there, username, password. Same Microsoft Entra ID and one more step, MFA. What is MFA? Come on.
Like
Multi-factor.
Authentication. Yes, multi-factor authentication. Nothing is there. Hope everyone experienced that banking login, online banking. Username, password after providing, you are getting the OTP actually. So not just username, password, other authentication method, multi-factor, multiple factors for authentication. OTP also you have to give properly. So this is in companies, you will use this one. So with your, whatever be the country, your mobile ID, they will enter in their list so that every time you are logging into your database, by not just providing the username, password and OTP also, it is going to generate. Now either you can take SQL Server or you can take Entra password. So I am taking here SQL Server. So you can see login password asking. So what is the admin name given? EFN admin. What is the password we given? This one. So straightforward only, nothing is there. So remember this part of password, click on connect. So you can see your server able to reach, you are able to connect from your local SSMS. So expand databases. This is the database we created, EFNDB. And tables, if you expand, what tables you have here? See, version, build version, error log, address, customer. Same tables even here also. Okay, we will do one small experiment. I am taking, because this table is required for us, right? EMP table script I am taking because right now EMP table not exist. So just EMP table I am going to create just for checking purpose. EMP table I am taking here. Copy. Either here or here. So let us do here. So I am pasting here. So this table we are going to insert, create and then insert the 14 records. So have a look, run. So table is created. So what we will do is now you can write a query, select star from EMP. Now you can run. So you see 14 records here. So you are unable to see that name right here, refresh it. So now you can see the EMP table. Now you created this table in the editor, right? That should reflect here also. That is the important thing. So you can refresh it. See? So you are connected to the same database. So that is what whatever steps creation, server and database creation may be not in your scope most of the times, but you have to connect after they providing the credentials. So these steps you have to follow. Okay. So that is what actually Azure SQL Server creation and its different connections and all these things. Okay. So any doubts here overallly?
So can we have to do all this in our personal laptop, or can we also do in our computer, like office laptop?
See, first of all, SQL Server creation, it is completely in the cloud. Hope you got that clarity, right?
Yeah.
And only thing is your question is related to SSMS. Is it?
SSM also available in my office laptop.
Then happily you can connect. If you don't have any monitoring mechanism in your laptop installed by your company team.
Okay. User this server's access they should be provided, no?
Now, what I'm saying is, suppose suppose there is a software. For example, I'm saying one of the software, ProHands. Anybody heard that?
No.
So in your laptop, suppose companies how they will monitor your working also. Okay. So whether you and the laptop you should use only for their purpose only, right? The intention
Yeah.
main. So definitely people will not believe people. So they will install this software. So what you are doing, everything it will monitor and it will pass the information. So suppose if in your laptop such a kind of software if it is there, what will happen? To which database you connected all these things, you need to give explanation if it is triggered, worst case.
Yeah.
But such a system, if it is not there, if you are damn sure, happily you can do in your company laptop also. Not at all a problem. And that too, it is okay, that depends actually. Okay. Basing on your situation, your company, your project. Okay.
Okay.
Sir, instead of SSMS, we can use MySQL Workbench also to connect to SQL Server.
Yes. Correspondingly, MySQL Workbench, you install it and you can connect accordingly. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So one of the SQL technology perfectly end to end we are seeing. More or less 99% it is same for other SQL technologies.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So I'm stopping here if you don't have any doubts. Yeah.
Yeah, is it
Sir, one
possible to delete the SQL server or database at any time?
Come again. We need to.
Is it possible to delete once any resource has been created in that particular resource group? Is
Yes.
it possible to delete?
Yeah. You see here, this is server, right? Delete option is there. I can delete anyhow. I'm going to delete this. Okay. I will use other SQL server for our discussion.
Okay.
Because if I leave like this,
Yeah.
within one day it will charge 2,000-3,000. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So anyhow, just to show you the end-to-end process I created, and further discussion I will show you in the other SQL server. So you see, this SQL server we will help. This is my free version. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Can we stop the server for instead of deleting?
That option I didn't find, man. Stopping server
In
because
AWS, it will be there. I think.
might be there. I didn't cross-checked also in that direction. It might be there, maybe. That is a, let me cross-check that also. Yeah. Pausing for these things not available, I guess, but we have to see. Okay, any other doubts?
So can we use our ADF Azure Data Factory? Like we used in that Azure Data Factory that SQL Server. So we have to add that IP address again and again.
No. There is another option. Okay. So that also that so where I don't want to tell everything in single class actually. Whenever required, automatically will come back. So that is going to register very well. So here you see that at the end there is an option. Okay. So by reading itself, you can
Okay,
understand.
okay.
All Azure services can they don't need to exchange
Okay,
IP addresses. Okay. If you enable this option. Okay.
If we enable that
Then
one, we want to,
no need
It
to
will not ask
again
IP
and again
address
put.
related issue if you enable this.
okay, sir.
Okay. You see what it is saying, allow Azure services and resources to access this server. Exception. That means what? Firewall rule exception. That means IP address need not
Okay,
be corrected if it is a same Azure service. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So I am not, I am leaving as it is. Okay. That time let us get error and then let us enable this. Then we will see. Then it will register. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
okay, sir. Thank
Yeah.
Sir,
So, yeah.
sir, is it possible to create a free account like different account, different ATM card and this?
Yeah. Different credit card. You try it. Different ATM credit card and mobile ID, mobile number.
Mobile number, no?
Yeah. People will do like that.
But mobile number also it is a link with your mobile bank account, right? Then it is possible to create.
That such a monitoring, I guess it will not happen. Sometimes with the same credit card also another account is created, but that is we didn't identify what is their pattern. But if you are able to bear, if you are conscious to billing, hardly within rupees, within 100 rupees, you can complete your practice per month. Okay. But if it is possible, try to create free account only. That is always best choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one more thing, sir. Can multiple people use the same account by using the single credit card?
Yeah,
Will that work?
you mean you can log in multiple places?
In multiple laptops, I mean.
You want to log in multiple devices, laptops, is it?
Yes.
That is not at all a problem.
Okay. Single account can be
Can
used
we
by
use
multiple
it
people.
parallelly in the multiple
Yeah,
system?
parallelly you can use it. I am working in different systems, same account, my same edufulness@gmail.com.
Okay.
Same ID, I am creating in multiple devices and working actually.
Okay.
That's not a problem.
Okay.
Account creation is the main thing. After that, nobody is going to monitor you. If you are able to create the account, do whatever way you want. Okay.
Sir, we have to create the account on our own, or you will join on Monday.
Yeah, you have to create. You have to find out some credit card, arrange it by Monday. Then Monday you create the account actually. Because ADF we will start. So by that time SQL almost we done. Where clause we have to discuss. So that basic where and order by we have to discuss. So basic is done. So we will start comfortably the data factory.
Sir,
So and at the same time again I'm saying to everyone, next week and that next week don't miss the classes. Always I believe basics are very important than advanced things. Nothing is there in advanced things. Okay. Every definition what we are discussing in next week is very important. Damn sure questions in the interview. And logical if you want to answer, don't miss the initial classes especially. Okay.
okay, sir.
you.
And one question:
Yeah.
what level of SQL we use in data engineering? Like you are saying, like you are covering all the basics. So is there any advanced?
No man.
Like,
See, this is first phase of SQL. After ADF, some portion is completed, then stored procedures we will see, joins we will see, window functions we will see, and different things we will switch actually. Okay. You should not stick to one technology in single stretch. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So now you can start comfortably the data factory. That's what my meaning. Okay. After 2-3 weeks, then again stored procedures, joins, all these things we are going to see. Those are very important things.
So all these basic the classes enough for ADF.
Exactly. For ADF and I am saying basic, but this is main thing in your real time also. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all for today. Let us meet on Monday. Happy weekend. Hope I allowed many people to attend the class. Okay. So feel free to call back if you have any further queries actually. And by Monday, please complete your enrollment. Okay. And if you have any concerns, please call back. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
no,
you all.
yeah,
Yeah.
no class on Saturday also, no, sir.
Yeah. Saturday, Sunday, no class. Only
Oh,
weekdays. Okay.
fine, fine.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all. Have a nice day. Sorry. Good night and all the best for your bright future. So let us discuss things betterly. Let us work together. Bye bye.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, sir. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.